Today let's talk about watercolors, the tools you'll use, and what the medium will look like. To start off with, you'll need a brush. We have two different types of brushes for the watercolor paint. These brushes are made out of bamboo, and the hairs are a natural fiber. These brushes here have a wooden handle, but also a natural fiber for the hair. It's important that you only use watercolor paint with the watercolor brushes, not oils or acrylic. You will also need a paint palette. They can look like that, or even round, as long as you have wells for your paint to go into. I'll set myself up with the little guy. The paint that you're used to seeing comes in little dry oval patties or cakes. We're not using those. We're using watercolor paint that comes in a tube. This is a paint that is not dry, it's liquid, and it's a very highly concentrated form of the pigment, which means you only need a very small amount to activate it, and a little goes a long way. I decided on using cool colors for my demonstration videos for my example. Once I have my colors picked out, this one's called ultramarine. You can also see what the color is by looking at the label itself. So this is obviously a green color and these two are a blue. Always squeeze from the end, do not squeeze from the middle. And you want about the size of your pinky nail. Ta-da! No bigger. Obviously, if you need more, you can always get more. To activate the paint, you need a small cup of water in front of you and one of the larger brushes. Swirl the brush in the cup and squeeze out the water into the reservoir. Once you have all of your colors and your water, set it aside. Let the water sit. The water will activate in the paint, like so. These larger brushes are used for larger areas, like the backgrounds, and they're a little bit harder to get into details. So I normally will not use the larger brushes, and I'll usually use the smaller ones if I'm painting a smaller picture. Once the water is activating the paint, you never swirl your bristles into the paint, ever. If you do that, you will get a clump of paint on the tip of your brush and it won't be good. So you actually have to be pretty patient. You can move the water around from the paint, but I don't want to see anybody's paintbrush touching the paint on the inside. You have to let the water do its thing in time, and try not to rush it. So I would say this will take a few minutes to do before you're ready. Everybody's watercolor palette will stay in their bin, and you will reuse the same color that dries overnight in the reservoirs. Couple things about the brushes. When you are rinsing your brush out in between your colors, do not smash the bristles in the bottom of the cup. Swirl the brush in the water and tap it out to let it drip in the cup. Place the cup in front of you, not on the side, so your arm does not knock it over. And once you have your palette and the water has activated the paint and you have the size brush you need, you are ready to work.